Hey friend, maybe you're someone who has been shrinking, has been doubting what to do, feeling a little bit too inward, and working on the inner parts of ourselves, which is, by the way, is totally fine. But let me just give you a hint. That part of us of where we have been nurturing is about to go through a little bit of a demolition. I know it sounds a little bit dramatic, but the truth is that we have a major transit coming in, and I want you to be prepared. So listen in and let me tell you. Like I said, so that glass ceiling of yours that maybe you've been keeping in, for yourself is going to be really disrupted because on June 30th, Jupiter will be moving into Leo and moving away from Cancer, that soft, nurturing part that we all been really taking care of for the last 12 months. So what does this mean? All right. So how are we going to look at this from a financial abundance perspective and help ourselves to align? Okay. So let me put my little video here. So on June 30th, as I mentioned, my birthday, woo woo, Jupiter, the planet that we know of as expansion, rapid scale, faith, is stepping out of that quiet part that's been in Cancer and moving into the more expansive nature of Leo, the part that wants us to be really seen, taking all that sun and like just sing, right? Like a rock star. So Jupiter doesn't really reward hustle, but it does, um, and it also doesn't really reward any sort of like martyrdom, okay? It really wants you to wake up to your own sovereign self and stop playing safe in whatever space that you're doing for money, whether that's career, your business, side hustles, so on and so forth. Your part of Leo is getting lit up at this time and has is having this Jupiterian expansion for a year. So you're hopefully going to take that lead and you're going to start claiming unapologetic creative authority over yourself and premium compensation. Okay. This is a tuning with what is coming in for us for 1 year. So for that to happen, you need to be completely naturally who is meant to be you. Okay. The Leo part of you. So, if you haven't met, my name is Carolina. I'm an ex corporate wonk digital marketer and strategist turned mystic and astrologer. And for over 20 years, I've been helping business owners as well as women in the both in the normal space of like corporate blah 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 and the woo space of astrology. And now I'm merging the two as part of Quest Mystic and the Cosmic Collective. What am I? The custom I can't even speak today. The Custom Wealth Collective. All right. So, what I want you to know is that we are going to stop like sitting in the space of like, oh, I'm just going to manifest my goals and hope they come true. And instead, we're going to move into more action, strategic action. And so at this time, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join my community in school. It's free and it's questmystic.com/school, SKOOL. All right. So let's move on here. So yes, Jupiter in Leo. So Jupiter is going to be in Leo from June 30th of 2026 until July of 2027 on the 27th. So July 27, 2027. Weird, right? A lot of sevens there. That's a whole nother thing we could rabbit hole around. Okay, so right behind me here is the chart of the moment of when Jupiter moves into Leo on June 30th. So, what I want you to think is that we're going to be looking at how to step into this wealth frequency, right? Because right now we're just talking about financial abundance and how to utilize astrology. So, whether you're building an empire of your own as a founder or side gigs or working for 9 to 5 or you're retired, this is a moment where we're going to reward who you are, right? So, you're going to turn this lens and think it through like your personal situation as to bring in financial abundance and the part of that that's required for us to do this. So even if you're in transition mode, that's a roadmap too, right? We all have a Leo part in our charts, and this is where Jupiter will be here to bring abundance and opportunities, not awakening necessarily, but certainly opportunities for us. So, the one thing that I want you to understand in all of this is that we're done with the old part of the Cancer side where, perhaps they were waiting, to just be really good in the feelings. And instead, we're moving more into understanding what Leo means, both the good and the bad. So, the shadow side of all of this is perfectionism. All right. So, as you're calling in all this great stuff, you're also going to be hit with these doses of potential desire to be perfectionist around something or hiding behind some sort of beautifully curated aesthetic or waiting for some outside permission to launch that next level thing, all right, or that pitch, that massive project, or make that massive decision that you've been waiting to do. So we're all shifting our wealth frequency because Jupiter is very much so a wealth planet. So we're moving away, right? As much as possible, we're moving away from old blocks that might be holding you. And so, what we're going to do today is we're going to go through what each zodiac sign has to say. And I'm going to hand you like basically a blank cosmic check at this time and say, this is what you can try, right? So, the exact emotional blocks to look at, to clear, and where to take your biggest financial leaps this year. Now, in abundance, right? Not necessarily like go and invest in this and that. Nope. Not doing that. It's more about abundance. This is mindset work. This is actual practical work, like putting applications, talking to people, right? We can't avoid these realities. We live in a world that requires that. So I highly recommend looking at your rising sign as I start sharing those for the most accurate look at your financial houses. And if you'd like, you can look at your sun sign as well. So let's dig in. Okay, so we're going to go through it looking at fire and earth, and then we're going to do air and water. So listen for your rising or your sun, whichever you feel like to doing. So the first one is Aries. So Aries, your portal of expansion will be around the fifth house of creative ventures. This is your year to monetize your raw passion. If you're an entrepreneur, launch that passion project offer you thought was too bold to make money, just do it. All right, just do the thing. If you're in corporate, bring your most creative, unfiltered ideas to the table. Make sure that you are seen for your gifts. It's time to gamble on your own genius. Clear that imposter syndrome that you may be having at this time and put your face directly on your brand. We all have a brand, right? Whether that's a personal, like I have a brand on Instagram, or you're just walking down the street. You are a walking brand always. All right. Leo rising, with whether it's Leo or Leo rising, welcome to your emerald year. Jupiter is sitting in your first house, making your personal identity and personal brand your ultimate financial asset. All right. Listen to that because this is once every 12-year transit. It doesn't happen every year. And so opportunities and potential for high paying clients will gravitate towards you if you open the doors and allow them to come in simply because of your presence, because of what you're radiating. Because if you're doing the work, you're being epic. All right. So clear the fear of hypervisibility or the false modesty trap. I want you to clear all of that and then step instead into the absolute center of your field. Redo your brand photography if you have to. Go out there, take photos of yourself, and pitch yourself for major stages or leadership roles, whatever you have your heart's desires on, do that. All right, Sagittarius and Sagittarius rising, your ruler for the home in the ninth house of global expansion. This is where you're going to have this activation happening. Okay, so your wealth expands when you think internationally. So your ninth house is where Leo will be, and your ruler, which is Jupiter, it will be sitting there giving you lots of amazing opportunities to go beyond what you normally think of. Like, so target international markets, apply for global markets locally, as well as roles, launch a premium certification program, or invest in high level learning that brings like some massive ROI. Like really invest yourself in yourself in that space if you are going to be doing that. And clear whatever the fear of logistical overwhelm and take your next step, all right, to that next epic global goal, please, because this is a great transit to have. Now let's look at the earth sign, which is Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So Taurus and Taurus rising, your wealth expansion of Jupiter will be in the fourth house of foundations. So abundance is going to flow when your nervous system feels stable and secure, right? They go hand in hand. Jupiter just expands. So if things are not that great, it may make you feel like, but it can also bring opportunity for healing. So Taurus is about sensory pleasure, stability, and sustainable growth, not just hoarding out of numbers of scarcity. So if you have a hoarding problem, this is a great time to look at it. Your assignment is to upgrade your environment and then also invest in the physical infrastructure of your home studio, the places that you hang out at, that you really want to spend these moments in, and give that Jupiterian abundance boost, all right? Whether that's a workspace or a hangout space. So you can feel like the wealthy CEO that you are, or the executive person that you've always wanted to be. Like, give yourself that sense of Leo-ness in your life at home. Virgo and Virgo rising, your expansion happens in the unseen realms of the 12th. So that's the 12th house. This is about building high leverage passive funnels, back end organizational systems. I know it doesn't sound sexy, but this 12th house is about stepping back, not necessarily doing things out in public and being very forward. And Virgo wants to do the system. So think about how those still can happen on the side, even though you're going to want to really like be possibly more retreat, more like unseen. And so this is a great time also for deep somatic work. So allowing you to release things that prevent you from receiving without burning out. And clear your addiction to visible busy work or frantic hustle. Take a step back to build back end assets that make money while you rest, because we all do. We all need that thing. So Capricorn and Capricorn rising, you're entering a year of expansion in the eighth house of other people's money. So this is the opposite house of the second. Jupiter is blessing your investments, joint ventures, commission structures, and corporate funding, anything that requires asking for money or negotiations with others in that realm of merging. That could be grants. That could also be taxes. So if you haven't paid taxes, you may want to do that. Your biggest block to clear is hyper independence and the toxic belief that you have to do everything completely alone. Yeah, take a look at that. Form high ticket corporate partnerships, apply for capital, or let your money start making money. All right, air and water signs. So moving on to these, air is Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So Gemini, Gemini rising. Your voice is your literal printing press. Just by talking this year, especially because Jupiter is now transiting your house of communications and media. So your messaging, your copywriting, your podcast, your local network are getting a major upgrade if you allow it. Is your block is to clear people pleasing or diluting your content to stay likable, or doing so much that you have no idea what you're tracking or what you're doing. Gemini tends to go surface level instead of deep. So if you're scattered, this is an opportunity to really try to harness that as much as you can, and launch, whatever thing you've been wanting to do, the podcast, write the book, revamp your brand messaging, and speak with absolute and unshakable authority. Now, Libra and Libra rising, your network is quite literally your net worth in the 11th house with this transit. So Jupiter is expanding your reach, bringing high paying masterminds, massive collaborative opportunities, and global audiences to your doorstep. Listen and take advantage. Don't just let them pass you by. high. Clear the habit of shrinking your vision to fit into old friendship circles or past professional groups. Launch a group program and perhaps apply to elite professional circles or pitch a major collaboration to some industry giant or some nonprofit, whatever groups that you are a part of or would like to be a part of. Aquarius, now, whether this is the rising or Aquarius, your abundance arrives via the power of two in the seventh house of contracts and alliances. So, this transit brings soul aligned, high paying one on one clients. This is where we meet other people and where they meet us. So, dream business partners, lucrative legal contracts, and influential mentors are a possibility. Again, you have to step into them. Don't let them just pass you by. Clear any relational walls or hyper independence keeping people at arm's length. So make sure that you are not having to pour all of your energy into container without getting what you need in and out of that, right? So boundaries. Open up high-end spots for one-on-one VIP clients or sign that major contract with total confidence. Always look at the dots, though, all the various dots and crosses that you need to when you do the contracts. And then finally, the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So for Cancer, this is a direct financial jackpot transit for your second house of liquid cash and income. So Jupiter is directly expanding your bank account and your capacity to hold wealth. So expect new revenue streams, luxury clients, or major corporate promotions. Clear the block of undercharging or somatic tightness when asking for big numbers. You know that when you're like, oh, I'm not so sure. Go in, just lean in some more. Audit your pricing or value that you're experiencing right now today. Double your rates if they're outdated, and practice saying your new number in the mirror until your nervous system feels completely solid. Okay, somatic work is really important. Scorpio, get ready for a massive promotion or corporate breakthrough, or your business becoming widely recognized as the gold standard in the 10th house of career and public status. The public is ready to reward your expertise, clear the urge to stay hidden in the shadows or control everything from behind a screen. Don't do that. Apply for that executive role, pitch the media, and position yourself as the ultimate leader in your market. And lastly, we have Pisces. Your daily operations and work environment are getting a royal upgrade in your sixth house. All right. It doesn't sound sexy. I know, I'm experiencing it. You build wealth this year not by doing more, but by optimizing your energy and team. So clear the martyrdom complex, which, yes, I tend to have, the false belief that you have to suffer or do menial work to deserve your income. Hire that virtual assistant, operations manager. Put in some sort of systems that could really help you optimize what you do to day so that you can relax some more, okay? Perhaps it's an agency partner, or just protect your energy so you're free to create and have fun. All right. So the very last thing, friends, is for you to understand all of this. Please take a look at your house for Leo. Understand what is inside of that, who rules it, meaning your sun. Where's the sun in your chart? That has a lot more to say about this. Take a look at, read this or understand this from both the rising sign as well as the sun sign. Look to see where perfectionism is happening. Where is this overdoing in the Leo side as this all kicks in on June 30th? And we are really here to take this opportunity from Jupiter to expand in a new space in a new way. And with the Leo, it's like really big and shiny. And for some, that may not feel good. And because the cosmos are also really all kinds of stuff is going on at this time, that it may not be a great transit for some, and for others, it's going to be really awesome. The point is, get to know your chart. If you'd like to know some more, please join me And oh wait, commit to that magic that I mentioned in the video, right? The one thing for each of the things that I share for you, the break, the shadows, and the blueprint of committing to magic. Okay. So if you'd like to have some more, please join me in school, questmystic.com/school, SKOOL, two O's and one L. Or grab my my money magnet mentor GPT that you can have access to, which is questmystic.com/MMM. Yes, three M's. And think about, like, are you ready to completely demolish your ceilings? Are you ready to take the roar of the lion and proceed in your beautiful gifts, creative gifts, ideas, and passions that you have? We've just spent 1 year in the realm of the emotions, of the first emotional sign of the zodiac. So we're now really stepping into a place that we are ready to be seen. And I trust that you are going to do a great job. Meet us in school or grab that freebie, and I will talk to you again. Take care, friend. Bye bye.